Hello, second grade. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over our poem. This is our poem lesson, okay? So what we're going to do is you're going to get your binder like this. You're going to open it up. And there's going to be a couple of pages. There's your homework sheet, your letter to your parents, your prayer sheet, your spelling sheet, and then your poem. So please open up to this page, okay? So I'm going to share my screen with you so that way you can see the poem as well. There we go. Okay, perfect. So let's begin. I want you to listen first. Listen to how the poem is read, and then we will continue. Okay, let's begin. We always start in poem hands, but this time you're just going to listen, okay? After the Party by William Wise. Jonathan Blake ate too much cake, and he isn't himself today. He's tucked up in bed with a feverish head, and he doesn't much care to play. Jonathan Blake ate too much cake and three kinds of ice cream too. From his latest reports, he's quite out of sorts, and I'm sure the reports are true. I'm sorry to state that he also ate 6 pickles, a pie, and a pear. In fact, I confess it's a reasonable guess. He ate practically everything there. Yes, Jonathan Blake ate too much cake, and he's not at his best today. But there's no need for sorrow if you come back tomorrow. I'm sure he'll be out to play. So that is our poem that we will be working on this week and next week. So you're going to have 2 weeks to memorize the whole poem, okay? And I would just like to begin with the first stanza. This is the first stanza right here, okay? We're going to say it together, okay? You're going to say it with me. Jonathan Blake ate too much cake. He isn't himself today. He's tucked up in bed with a feverish head, and he doesn't much care to play. Good. So let's do it one more time, and then we'll do hand motions, okay? Jonathan Blake ate too much cake. He isn't himself today. He's tucked up in bed with a feverish head, and he doesn't much care to play. Okay, so we're gonna stop right there, and we're gonna look at some of the words in our poem. And I am going to get my handy dandy tools, if I can find them. There they are. And here we go. Ooh. Okay, that's not gonna help. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put a little check mark next to a word that maybe we don't understand, or maybe it's a little too hard to understand. So Jonathan Blake, that's the name of a person. It's the name of this little boy over here who's sick. Ate too much cake. We know what that means, right? He isn't himself today. He's tucked up in bed. Let's say tucked. Do you know what the word tucked in is? Do you know what the word tucked is? Have your parents ever tucked you in bed? They pull over your blanket and they tuck you in. Let's continue. He's tucked up in bed with a feverish head, and he doesn't much care to play. Feverish. What does that word mean? Is there a word in that word that we know and we've heard before? You're right, fever. So he's tucked up in bed. He's tucked up in bed with a feverish head. He has a fever. With a feverish head, he doesn't much care to play. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we are going to learn some of the hand motions so that we can learn our poem, okay? So I need you to do this with me. I need you to do the hand motions with me so that we can memorize the poem. Okay, let's begin. We always begin in poem hands. Shoulders down, standing up straight. After the Party by William Wise. Repeat after me. After the Party by William Wise. Okay. The sign for Jonathan Blake is going to be a circle. Okay. Jonathan Blake. Can you do that? Jonathan Blake. 8. This is the sign language for 8. Jonathan Blake ate too much. So we have a bar, and with your other hand, you go up like this. Ate too much. And then for cake, you put out your hand, you put down your hand, and you pull it out. Okay? Let's do it again. Jonathan Blake ate too much cake. He, point at him, he isn't himself today. Let's do that again. Jonathan Blake ate too much cake. He isn't himself today. Let's do that one more time. Jonathan Blake ate too much cake. He isn't himself today. One more time. Jonathan Blake ate too much cake. He isn't himself today. You're gonna pull over your sheets. He's tucked up. You pull over the blankets and you tuck yourself in. He's tucked up in bed. Let's do that again. He's tucked up in bed with a feverish head. And he doesn't, you're gonna go like this. He doesn't, so you get your thumb, you flick it, and you go like this. He doesn't much care to play. This is sign language for play. Okay, let's do it again. Jonathan Blake ate too much cake. He isn't himself today. He's tucked up in bed with a feverish head. And he doesn't much care to play. Good. Okay, let's do it one more time and then we'll be done. Jonathan Blake ate too much cake. He isn't himself. He isn't himself today. He's tucked up in bed with a feverish head. And he doesn't much care to play. Okay, so I'm going to say the words and you're going to do the hand motions, okay? After we do that, then that'll be it for the video. Okay, let's continue. After the Party by William Wise. Jonathan Blake ate too much cake. He isn't himself today. He's tucked up in bed with a feverish head, and he doesn't much care to play. Good, good. So this is all that we're gonna do for today. Tomorrow, you will have another video. We're gonna go over our poem again, and then we're gonna learn the second part of our poem, okay? And then next week, on Monday, you will be practicing this poem again and again and again. And then next Friday, we'll have our poem test, and that's where your parents are going to take a video of you reciting your poem. So I hope you are all doing so well. I hope you had a good break, and I cannot wait to see you all very, very soon. God bless, and I am praying for you all. Totus tuus, Maria.